Linköping, they was a bit more defensive, a bit more trying to frustrate Arsenal. I'm interested to see if Paris really come at Arsenal today as well, a bit more of a higher press, you know, and challenge them as well attacking-wise compared to obviously the midweek game.
So 1 down, 3 to go. After beating their qualifying tournament hosts here on Wednesday, Arsenal's journey to the Champions League group stage kicks up a notch this afternoon. The Gunners are just 1 victory away from booking their place in that 2-legged playoff round. But a sleeping giant of French football does stand in their way. Paris FC were once the dominant force in France, lifting their 6th championship in 2006 under their old name, UWCL. And then Lyon, of course, steamrolled their way to an unprecedented 16 titles in 17 years. And then the PSG investment has also forced their city rivals into the shadows. Well, today they have their own opportunity to get back to the big time. And after their electric display against Krivas in midweek, they will be a step up in quality from Arsenal's opening day opposition. Plenty of Gunners support still in Sweden. Very vocal they were throughout the first game against the tournament hosts Linköping. Expect a similar level of volume from them in this afternoon's game as well. A few familiar figures there in the Paris lineup, most notably their goalkeeper, who caused England so many frustrations throughout the World Cup. And 2 absolute legends of the game there. Kim Little shaking hands with the Paris captain, Gaëtan Tini. 300 plus appearances for this club since 2008. 163 France caps as well. 2 players who have done so much for the women's game in Europe. So then, a couple of changes for Jonas Eidevall this afternoon, one at either end of the pitch. Steph Catley comes in for Katie McCabe at left-back, while Stina Blackstenius replaces Alessia Russo in attack after scoring last time out. There's a second outing in Arsenal red for Amanda Ilestedt and Chloe Lacasse, and more minutes in the legs for what looks like Jonas Eidevall's preferred midfield trio this season. For Paris, Sandrine Soubeyron makes just 1 change to her side from Wednesday. Margot Lemoel replacing Daphne Cobos in midfield. Julie Defour is the one to watch after a 34-minute hat-trick against Krivas. But the French side do have quality all over the pitch. Gaëtan Tini, as mentioned, boasts the 163 France caps. Clara Matteo is only recently back from World Cup duty, and Mathilde Bourgeois is their most creative threat. The 24-year-old wearing the number 9 shirt claimed 2 assists on Wednesday and is equally as clinical in front of goal. The 2 changes then, Gilly. I guess the one that will catch the eye more than the other is Stina getting the nod over Alessia up front. Right choice, I imagine, given the form that she showed after leaving the bench.
Yeah, and I did say that obviously midweek. I think it's hard for a new player to come into a team, and you know, obviously with Russo, it's about building those partnerships, and it's about giving it time to build. And I think obviously when you did see Stina come on midweek, the game did change. You know, it's just that relationship that have already been built with the likes of Marnham and Little and Vaulty as well. So yeah, I think she deserved to start, and obviously Russo will be given time as well to blend in and to build those partnerships up.
Warm reception as both teams take the knee, and there's no room for racism or any other form of discrimination. So Paris then to get us underway. And on the front foot as well, immediately you can tell from the way they were setting up from kick-off they were going to put this one forward, and it's the experienced fullback Julie Sawyer who played that one on, but it's been stolen back by Frida Marnham, who is such a powerful runner. There's a punching challenge on her though by Sissoko. Kurashek. anchoring the midfield for Paris today. Here she is again, actually scored on her debut last time out. She was the other goal scorer in the 4-0 win over Krivbas. Flicked on by Dufour. Lestat, of course, spent one season with Paris' city rivals, PSG. For Lacasse to chase. As we saw from a very lively debut, she's not afraid to put in a shift. Mead once again named on the bench. Interesting to see whether she is called upon this afternoon. Ilestep hooked back forwards towards her compatriot. Now Mornham. Little, it's a nice reverse pass, slightly overcooked.
Yeah, really good build-up play there from Arsenal. We've seen with Chloe Lacasse in the previous game. She's a live wire for Arsenal. She offers something different as well. I think sometimes if you push Katie McCabe up, and then you're trying to fit a player in who's naturally left-footed as well, to be able to have an option of another good, very good right winger. Obviously, you've got Mead coming back too. It just gives another option to Arsenal.
Nice take by Matteo. Katie McCabe is the other player to have dropped out of the starting 11 this afternoon, along with Alessia Russo. I guess that's almost to be expected. Steph Catley coming onto the pitch around the hour mark. You expect it may be the same case today, just to ensure that everyone's getting a decent run out, keeping the legs fresh at this very early stage of the season. Speaking of which, Paris have actually played 4 friendlies and that other qualifier going into this game, so in theory they are further ahead in terms of their match sharpness. Step invited to step out of defence. It's been run back though. And Paris love to play on the counter attack with Bourdieu up against Wubben-Moy. It's calm, composed, confident defending by Wubben-Moy. Did dwell on it a little too long though, and here's Matteo. Wubben-Moy will just shepherd that one out and behind to atone for the earlier mistake.
Yeah, really good there from Wubben-Moy. You know, being a centre-back, watching that, I do have my heart in my mouth a little bit with the turns. But again, it's now, once you've done it, now it's passing the ball on, because obviously Paris are going to react quickly and you don't want to then turn over after doing so well winning the initial ball.
Your knuckles, do you just get that bit,
I'm sweating,
bit more white every time you see a ball-playing defender, Gilly?
Another grey hair's popped up on my head.
Bogar with the throw-in, given straight back to Arsenal. Stenius looking to stretch that back line again. She's got Krebeval for company. There's a glimpse of the Paris coach, Sandrine Soubeyron. France's most capped player of all time, 198 international appearances for her. She also played more than 250 times for this club. Catley, now a chance for Mornham. Dozy Had to be alert to tip that one over.
Yeah, it's a great strike from Marnham, and what's really good about him, what's pleasing, is the 1-2 touch, the link-up play between Catley and Marnham. Catley's obviously a lot higher then as well, being a fullback, but it's great. Arsenal, I think, play their best when they play the 1-2 touch football, especially if you've got Paris who is sitting in a block.
It was Marnham who won the corner, and it will be Marnham to deliver. Steph Catley's the sure option there, but there are plenty of targets in that penalty area. Paris have got a fair bit of height themselves. And it comes from Marnham. Oh, Nadozi's not made good contact with that one. Wigan Moy having that header cleared off the line. Still Arsenal attack, Lacasse. Eventually cleared by Soye. Nice play by Dufour. Done really well there to find Bourdieu. Space opening up for Matteo on this near side. Instead elects to go back across for Koroshek. And now Bogar. I think that is going to be the concern, watching Paris's first game of this mini tournament. They do like to play on the counter-attack, and they have the players to really cause Arsenal problems.
Yeah, you're looking at the midweek game with Lynn Sherping. They had the counter opportunity, and they did expose Arsenal in the flanks as well, but they didn't have the quality to match it in the players around. I think I was just looking at a lot of Woman Moyes' attempt there. A bit more power. Obviously, Paris FC had a player on the line, but a bit more power. It's a great chance for Arsenal.
Soya using all of her experience to be in the right place at the right time. Pull that one away from danger, but again it's Paris who are on the front foot. Arsenal really being made to work hard defensively as Maritz is pulled up for bringing down Bourdieu.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. Obviously Paris, they're attacking at a lot more pace than what Lynn Sherping did, and they've got a lot more bodies in support as well. We've seen a tactical foul from Maritz there, but it's an opportunity for Paris to put the ball into Arsenal's box.
A couple of players over this for the visitors, but it does look as though the captain, Gaetan Tini, will be taking responsibility for this one, the 37-year-old. That cultured right foot delivery we've seen for so many years at this level. And it comes from Tini. That one not up to her usual high standards. Easy in the end for Zinsberger.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed by that as well. But also Paris, there weren't really any runners, really, whether they were too far away or once the ball's delivered, they just thought that there weren't really any chance for them to get there, but not really any runners at all into the box.
Koroshek's goal on Wednesday did come from a set piece. It's from a corner kick. They didn't plan out their free kick on that occasion. The same level of care. Belty. It's a tough one for Ilestedt to deal with, but stretches out one of her long legs and is able to get there just in the nick of time. Bogar. Dufour again, the obvious outball on that left-hand side. Bags of pace. Zinsberger puts that one into a decent enough area, but Catley can't get there in enough time. One back by Velti. Marnham. Well marshalled in the end by Lemuel. Nadozi mentioned that she frustrated England in the build-up to this game, but she actually saved a penalty against Chloe Lacasse's Canada at the World Cup. Kept a clean sheet against Katie McCabe's Republic of Ireland as well, and then against England, of course. She also beat, or was on the side that beat Australia in the group stage too, so Plenty of Arsenal players affected there by her incredible performances in goal. Still just 22, Ndozi. Loose from Belty. Steph Catley and Zinsberger had to get that one right and just about managed to do so.
I think on that you could just see clearly how the pitch is holding up the ball. That through ball then, if it had been on a grass pitch, would have probably bounced through to Zinsberger. But Catley does really well. She reads the bounce. It's not going to go there and just gets her body in the way. But that could have been one of those ones. Goalkeeper coming out, defender running back. Neither of you get it and the forward go through. But thankfully, Catley dealt with it.
Those situations do crop up, Gilly. In fact, we'll come back to that point in a second as Caitlin Ford is now bearing down on goal, and there may be an opportunity for Blackstenius. Good defending in the end by Sawyer. I was going to say, is in those situations, whose responsibility is it? I guess the goalkeeper can see more of it, but Steph Catley's closer to the ball. Yeah,
I'll always just say, unless you get a call from the goalkeeper, defender deals with it. You know, I think that sometimes the goalkeeper needs to let a defender defend. But yeah, just defend the ball and don't let any confusion. When the problems arise, when the hesitation is there from a goalkeeper or defender, so just deal with it and then you can talk about it afterwards.
Ford hustled and harried on this near side. Does win a free kick. So they're getting touch tight to her. Opening 12 minutes, we've seen Paris are very keen to win the ball back in high areas of the pitch. I think in modern coaching parlance, we call that good on the transition.
Yeah, we would. But I also think as well for Arsenal, they need to move the ball quickly, like we spoke about midweek. They need to move it quicker, and the movement off the ball needs to be better for the person on the ball. You know, they can't be static, especially with Paris, the way they're pressing. You can't be static. You have to help the person on the ball and move.
Belty offering the angle for Illistedt. It's picked out Mornham, and this is much better from the Gunners. Lacasse. Options in the middle include Blackstenius and Ford. Now it's back into the path of Maritz, who just couldn't get the contact she needed on the cross.
Yeah, really good from Lacasse as well, because she beats the defender in the wide position, and you're looking at she could have just whipped the ball across, but everyone was set in there already. You know, and she makes the decision to sort of fake it and cut it back, but Maritz, not being disrespectful in any way, but you'd probably be wanting someone like Kim Little to be picking the ball up there on the edge of the box.
Ford. Catley behind her. Those two combining so well on the left side of Australia's attack and defence at the World Cup. Know each other very well. Instead, Arsenal went to the other side before Illistedt with an ambitious long ball looking for Catley again. Prebeval. Now Bogart. It's forward by Koroshek. Another for Illistedt to chase. She's been incredibly prominent in the first two appearances for Arsenal. Probably done a lot more defending than I think she would have been expecting at this early stage of the competition. It's kept them honest.
I also think as well she's fitted straight in. You know, she's playing in that back line like she's been playing there for many years, and I think that just shows the experienced professional that she is. She had a fantastic World Cup for Sweden, and she's gone straight into the team. Obviously, you're potentially looking at when Leah Williamson comes back, that could be the potential partnership too at centre back. But yeah, a great player who looks like she's been playing there for many years.
She's also got an incredibly good record against Paris. Has never lost in her 4 previous appearances, winning 3, drawing the other one. Belty trying to shimmy away from danger, giving it straight back to Paris. forward, back helping out the defence. Power forward herself as well, the Australian. Really good play by Arsenal's number 19 until the final ball let her down. Quarter of an hour gone, pretty even. That's Uefa having a header cleared off the line. Paris have looked lively coming forward. Game not really settling into a pattern or a rhythm just yet. Little. Easily done by Zinsberger. The opposite of Ilestedt against Paris-based sides. Twice knocked out in the Champions League by PSG. It was in the quarterfinals back in 2017 with Bayern, and of course 2020 with Arsenal. This is a Parisian side on the up, though. They pride themselves on their youth development. A number of really promising youngsters coming through their ranks and on the bench as well. Little able to just buy herself a free kick there.
I do think, I know we speak about the pitch, it does hold the ball up when you're playing on a 3G, 4G. It does hold it up. So where Arsenal used to playing the crisp football and setting it into Kim Little and switching it out the other way, it's getting stuck under their feet. You see it with Caitlin Ford. She's a profound dribbler with the ball. You know, she's really good at running with the ball at pace, but it's getting stuck under her feet, which then affects the way Arsenal play.
It's a nice touch around the corner by Maritz to find Lacasse. Went for the return pass herself. Good footwork again by Maritz. So the Gunners' second goal on Wednesday came from a free kick around this area. Katie McCabe it was who delivered it. She's not on the pitch, nor is Lena Hurtig, the goal scorer. Such is the strength in squad depth that Arsenal have at their disposal this season. Now got the likes of Steph Catley and Frida Mornham stood over this one. In from Catley. Cleared by Tinney.
I think Catley will be disappointed with that delivery. You know, especially if you've got Blackstenius in there, you've got Ilestedt, you've got Wubben-Moy, all great headers of the ball. You've got to beat the first player, especially. You've got to get it in the box.
Catley picking up a bit more central here. She continues to make her way over from right to left. It does mean that Ilestedt has now bombed forward, almost like in a wing-back role. You see her at the top of your screen. Belty. Wubben-Moy. Arsenal's back line momentarily disrupted. Merritt's now working on the left side. Moy not taking any chances, but she's just given it straight back to Paris, and now here's Bourdieu. Defour on the overlap. Up against Lacasse, and has got the better of her as well. Defour can still come forward in towards Bourdieu. Well off target in the end. Gunners looked a bit rocked there at the back.
Yeah, and it's come from, obviously, Moy. She's played the ball out to Lacasse. Lacasse has played it back, stitched her up a little bit. She's gone to put her foot through it, doesn't really get any height on it. And then what she does then is she steams out a defence to go and make up for the error that she's caused, leaving then the space behind. So I've done that many a times as well. It's one of them ones you're trying to make up for losing the ball, but then it just opens up the space. So Arsenal were very fortunate there to not be more damaged than what they were.
Oh, they still had a few players out of position following the corner kick as well, as Steph Catley made her way all the way across the back line. There she is at the bottom of your screen now in her more natural position. As is Ilestedt, which is very reassuring to see. Stenius. Maritz. Matteo. Really accomplished carrier of the ball. Midway through the first half. Gilly, your thoughts on the way that Arsenal have started this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think very similar to the other night. I think they need to move the ball a lot quicker. They need to have a bit more support off the ball. But it's a different test, you know, a different proposition.
Blackstenius is through here. Really good play by Lacasse. Blackstenius! Straight at Nadozi in the end.
Yeah, she does really well there, Lacasse, because she sees the run. Blackstenius playing on the back shoulder of Sissoko. I mean, it's very difficult, I think, to finish from that angle. But what she does do is she wins Arsenal corner.
Nadozi can keep that one in play. For a moment, Gunners' Swedish striker burst into life. Today's referee, Kristina Georgieva, it's Bulgarian, just making sure that no one is infringing Nadozi in the goal. It will be Catley to deliver again. Better on this one. Nadozi punches clear, but she will win a free kick.
It's one of them ones, though, as well, where you know how Nadozi is as a goalkeeper. She wants to come for everything. So maybe that's about just being a little bit cleverer now and thinking, can we do it where it drops into potentially the penalty area? Because if she does want to come that far out and she doesn't get a full connection on it, or it drops, then she's a long way off of her line. But I think you're playing to her strengths and you're just sticking it on top of her.
It's a crowded box as well, isn't it? If she has to wade her way through a sea of players, there's more potential that she will be stranded away from her goal. Lemuel for Sawyer. Neat footwork there by Clara Matteo. Gets the return pass as well from Bourdieu, and it's a nice ball through for Defour. Already with 3 goals to her name in this competition. And keeping Zinsberger honest at her near post.
Yeah, really good work from Matteo, really good feet, and you're looking. The space has been left by Catley, who's come out to try and press the ball. Obviously, really exposed. Ilestedt there is on her own. Defour obviously does does well to try and make something of it. A bit similar to the Blackstenius chance there. It'd be difficult for her to score from that angle, but what she does do, similar as well before, she wins obviously Paris at a corner.
Martini has had a couple of set pieces already. Have left a lot to be desired. All Paris players seem to be starting their runs from deep here. Bourgeois going towards the near post. It was aimed towards her head, and Zinsberger will need to take control of this situation, which she eventually does at the second time of asking. Or can Arsenal catch Paris on the break? French side very quickly back into their positions, but that's a lovely little drop of the shoulder from Kim Little. Stenius to Ford. Catley continued her run. Just won't be able to get there before it rolls out for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good work then from Ford, but also fantastic turn from Kim Little there. Settles the Paris midfielder, she goes running past her, great turn. Blackstenius comes. That's what is good about Arsenal, is when they do the link-up play, 1-2 touch, they move Paris, they can't keep up with them, and Catley was trying so hard to keep that in, but just run away from her.
Little underneath this one. Uefa. Good anticipation from the England international. And her side a free kick as well. Koroshek with the handball. It's incredibly straight in terms of trajectory here. Expecting something a bit different from Frida Mornham. Ilestedt is forward on the right-hand side. Mornham goes left instead towards Uefa. Little. Ford doing well there to escape not one, not two, but three Paris players. Cass powering forward again, and she's got the run on her marker. I will get there just ahead of Bourgeois. Screaming for someone to arrive late in the penalty area, that cross, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant from Chloe Lacasse again. You know, you think sometimes she overrun it, but she didn't. She kept it in. Great cutback as well, but just the timing of it. But she's been a threat down the right-hand side. She was midweek as well, and she's replicated that in this game so far.
Saw her a few times on Wednesday, cutting inside onto her left foot. It seems like this time the directive is, OK, we'll just get round them, around the outside, and you've got the pace to do that. Just about half an hour in, and we've already seen it 2 or 3 times. Ilestedt. Barrett's looking to feed Lacasse again. A blossoming partnership between those two on the right-hand side. A very established one on this near side. Oh, that's loose. Nadozi has to click off her line. Margot Lemuel. Not the most convincing pass back to her goalkeeper. Apologies for the loss of picture there. I've been assured it's an issue on the ground, but it's being investigated. I can tell you now, you didn't miss anything. Here's Blackstenius. Losing out to Matteo. "30 minutes gone, still very cagey here, this one." Paris chasing their first group stage qualification since 2013. It's the last time they qualified for the full tournament. That was actually coinciding with their best finish as well. They reached the semi-final, where eventually they were knocked out by Lyon. Of course, they're competing with last season's Champions League semi-finalists in Arsenal. Looking to go one better this season, but of course they need to qualify for the group stage first. It is a pretty relentless schedule in order to get there. Crossed in by Bogart. Bourdieu back out to the left back. Leads Catley. He's done well enough there to just hold her up. Change an angle there, and Matteo trying to bring that one down. Stenius underneath this one, challenged by Sawyer, and will win the free kick as well. Bit of a sore one for Blackstenius. It's kind of a let them know you're there sort of challenge from an experienced campaigner in Sawyer.
I was going to say that I think Blackstenius done really well to win Arsenal a free kick there, but I don't think she intentionally meant to win it. I think obviously the defender comes in late behind her, but I think obviously Blackstenius' stature, you know, it's difficult to win. I know I've played against her several times. It is really difficult to win the ball against her, which does well to eventually win Arsenal obviously a free kick after a little bit of fragile defending, shall we say.
She was judged on her goal contribution last season, albeit fairly harshly at times. I mean, she did end the season with 18 in all competitions, but it's those other areas of her game, the link play, the hold-up play, which make her, as you said, Gilly, so difficult to play against, but also so valuable to the team.
Yeah, and she's such a willing runner as well. I mean, playing against her, she peels off with your back shoulder. She gets in the space between you and the fullback, and it's really difficult because you're constantly all the time looking to see where she is. I remember playing against her when I was at West Ham, and she come to get the ball short and literally just opened her legs and it ran past both of us. And obviously, I think Miedema went on to score, but she does offer a lot. You know, she's a big player, and sometimes I think people would see a player that size and say, oh, an out-and-out number 9, you know, the typical old-school number 9. But she offers a lot more to her game, and had a difficult season last year, especially obviously with the talk of Russo coming in January, and she lacked a lot of confidence from watching her games. But the way she ended the season, you know, and I think she was huge for Arsenal, especially in the Continental Cup final too. And yeah, I was chuffed to see her finish the season the way she did.
And start this season the way that she has as well. A goal against her former side, Linköping. Getting a nod for this afternoon's game as well. The talking to for Lou Bogar on the far side of the pitch. In a step. Velti. Stenius again occupying a number of defenders, given away by Velti. Usually so accurate, regardless of which foot it's on, and it's given away once more by Ford. Now Matteo, we've already seen she's a tricky operator. Ilestedt in the way of that one.
Just watching Arsenal in possession then and watching how Paris are defended, they're so compact, you know, and they're so centralised. The spaces in the wide areas. If Arsenal can get it in one way, set it back and get it out the opposite side, Ford is in so much space on the opposite side. It's a real chance for Arsenal then to get at Paris.
They've got the players who can find those gaps as well. The players who can pass. We've already seen Ilestedt try a couple of ambitious crossfield passes in her fledgling Arsenal career. Comes back to what we were continuously saying throughout the first half of Wednesday's game, doesn't it? Pace of passing, upping the tempo, pulling players out of position, which is what they've done here with the Marits on the overlap. Good ball in as well, in fact, just a bit too close to Nadozi. Three players in Arsenal red inside the area. It's an easy routine claim for one of the world's best goalkeepers. Stenius. Lacasse is somehow going to get there despite having a 15-yard disadvantage.
Seems that the referee is going to be a bit more on it this game to the late challenges. I think on Wednesday the referee let quite a lot go, where this one doesn't seem to be like that, which is, I think, a benefit for Arsenal, the way Paris play. You've seen it in this first half so far. There are a few late challenges getting chucked in. They're trying to be aggressive towards Arsenal, bully them a little bit, and the referee's not standing for it.
Ilestedt, Wilbur Moy and Caitlin Ford move forward, lurking by this near post. Easy enough for Paris to deal with again. Velti into Ford. Happy to take the bumps off the defenders. Ford spotted the clever run from Frida Mornham as well. She was tracked every step of the way by Rebaval.
I think Arsenal just need to move the ball a little bit quicker. Now Paris are pressing a lot quicker and harder than what Linköping did, so need to move the ball. Don't allow them time to get in and around you.
Clever header by Wilbur Moy.
That's the picture there, though. You know what we're saying, the space is on the opposite side. Clever header by Wilbur Moy, but what Ilestedt Marits is on her right-hand shoulder, you know, there's so much space there. They're going back down the same channel as what it's just come from.
Bit more communication, perhaps, as well. And the Marits could have done with a shout there. She could have brought that one down under no pressure. There's another one. This time, captain on captain. Neat touch by Frida Mornham. Good first-time delivery as well. Stenius wasn't too far away from getting on the end of that cross.
Yeah, very similar to Blackstenius' goal midweek, you know, with the one-touch finish around the corner. Just bobbles away from her there, but obviously Marits puts a good delivery in. But that's when Arsenal look dangerous. 1-2 combination play.
Just like this from Defour. Still going, Defour, and she's got Laura Matteo on this near side. Into her left foot, good block by Catley. Matteo gets another chance. Again, an Australian wall in her way.
Yeah, Catley defends that really well, because initially, when the ball broke down on the opposite side, I did think, is Catley too far over? You know, obviously with the ball coming on her left shoulder, but she manages to open up, get there, and reads it really well to put the block in.
Played a few games at centre-back last season, Steph Catley. I think that's where we got a real, true appreciation of her defensive ability. She's known for her set-piece delivery and for her assists, but she does have that part to her game as well. In comes the corner. Olmsted's touch at the penalty spot, enough to take it away from the Paris players. Sissoko. A bit rushed at the back by Arsenal. Back by Lacasse. Again, is impressed in an Arsenal shirt. Arnhem was unceremoniously dumped to the ground. Looks like another challenge from Trevor Val. Finally, a yellow card has been issued.
I think that took a lot longer than I expected, especially with the play's been in the last 5-10 minutes or so with the late challenges coming in, but Marnham does really well there, feels the pressure from behind, spins and wins Arsenal a free kick, which we're hoping is a better delivery than the previous ones.
Last time Catley's delivered, delivery was cleared before reaching the area. This one's better. Instead, it was who was the intended target. Taken away from her, and again, look at Paris trying to break forward. Bourdieu has got the legs to keep this one alive. And is inside the area as well. Bourdieu going for it. He's threading the needle pass. Easily dealt with by the Gunners in the end. It's a heavy touch as well by Bogart.
I think Arsenal just need to be careful of the clearances, you know, because there's times when they could put a foot on it, you know, and go back to Zinsberger or work it back across the back line, but whether it's lack of communication or just lack of quality, composure on the ball, you're just feeding it back to Paris FC, you know, and the way they're attacking and how quick they are, it's not hurt Arsenal as such yet, but it could do.
.60 seconds then of this first half. There will no doubt be time added on. And who will be the happier manager going into the break?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think Jonas will be happy in regards to Arsenal have been creating. You know, it's not like they've not created. They are creating chances. I think they need to use the wide areas a lot more than what they're doing. But yeah, I think he'll be happy going into it.
Speaking of wide areas, Lacasse picking out Mornham, drifting over to the right-hand side as she loves to do. Quincy didn't spot the through ball for Maritz, so now we come back to the left-hand side and into the feet of Kim Little. Lacasse. Now Mornham. Cass is the option again, hooked in towards Blackstenius. He was in there too, and Little leaves it for Catley.
Det återstår minst 2 minuter utav den första halvleken.
Extenius, Sissoko right behind her. Bourdieu. Defended by Uefa.
Just think Arsenal might need to just be a bit more patient, you know, with going forward. With Paris, they're setting behind, whether it be in the back four or the midfielder in shape. You might have to make just that extra pass, you know, to break him down, to draw a runner out. You know, Sissoko, just watching her, she likes to get tight to Blackstenius, so that might be the decoy. You know, draw her out and play the ball around her.
It's their time for the Gunners to get forward one more time before they head in at the break. Not like that, there isn't. Matteo. Bourdieu on the overlap on the right-hand side. Fancy their chances of going herself there, Bourdieu. Catley. A strong challenge on her by Gaetan Tinney. Koroshek. Well, it's been a step up in quality, that's for sure, since the midweek test against Linköping. The Gunners going close with Otto Wubben-Moy's header cleared off the line. They've had their chances as well to break forward in the wide areas. Chloe Lacasse in particular has stood out as the biggest threat in red and white. But Paris have also looked deadly on the counter-attack. Julie Dufour testing Manu Zinsberger with a low drive. Clara Matteo's also impressed as well. Plenty of action still to come in this game. Of course, we will be going to extra time and penalties but from the first half. So we are still balanced in this tie. The final of this 14 qualification tournament, with a place in the Champions League playoffs at stake. Arsenal get us back underway, and Gilly Flaherty alongside me. What we're expecting and what we're hoping is going to be different from Arsenal's approach in this second period.
Yeah, well, I think obviously just looking at Paris, I think they're going to go for it a bit more in this second half. Obviously both teams know they need the win, but I think with Arsenal it's just about using the ball.
Ooh, well, Zinsberger had to come out under pressure from Clara Matteo. And now the Gunners can try to work their way from back to front. And Velti. Extenius wanted that ball early. Instead, Velti's managed to pick out Mornham. Head down, running towards the penalty area to find Ford. With Mornham again. Just Blackstenius and Lacasse inside the penalty area. So Mornham goes back for Velti, and now Ilestet. Stenius looking for the first time pass into Little, and the move breaks down. Here comes Bogart. Into Dufour. Stenius needs the first challenge. Sissoko made sure on the second. And the Gilly Flaherty school of defending that one.
I know, I was sitting there just grimacing a little bit because it did seem like a bit of a solid challenge, but it's a fair one. Good challenge in the end from Sissoko.
Solid but fair, I think, are two adjectives that people would describe you with. Is Paris who come forward now. Dufour Gets inside, looking to find a way through. Past Maritz. Little's just ushered off the ball by Bourdieu. Still going, the France international. There's a chance. It's taken right off the toes by Leah Belti. And now a bit of space is opening up for Lacasse. Blackstenius, look at Caitlin Ford, top of your screen. It is Ford who had controlled the ball with her hand.
Yeah, great break then from Chloe Lacasse. As well, links up with Blackstenius. Yeah, unfortunate handball from Caitlin Ford then, but I think with Arsenal, they don't need to get into that sort of battling, sort of fighting, the hustle and the tussle with Paris. Now, that's what Paris FC want. They want that. If Arsenal move the ball quick enough, they can't get near them, but they're not doing that. They're taking too many touches, and they're then playing to the strengths of Paris FC. You know, they need to move it and don't let them get anywhere near you.
A reminder that if this game is goalless, after 90 minutes we will be going to extra time and penalties. That will suit Paris for sure. We've got the youngest goalkeeper to keep a World Cup clean sheet and save a penalty as well, in Shamaka Nadozi in goal for them. It's another example of some pretty agricultural defending from Julie Soyer, who knows exactly what she's doing. Steph Catley rightly not too impressed with her opposing fullback. Lacasse again hugging this touchline. DeFour's there with her. This is Maritz. Mateo. Tini. Nadozi. Very different type of game for Paris to be playing after the match that they had on Wednesday. They actually had 19 shots against Krivbas. It was a very one-sided semi-final matchup. 10 of those were on target. So, I have to say, fair play to the Ukrainian side for only conceding 4 times. This one's been much more frustrating, or with the aim to frustrate, I should say, and then catch Arsenal on the counter-attack. Korosek. Bourdieu can't quite get that one under control. Moy will just settle for the free kick. Slow things down back to Arsenal's pace.
It just goes back to what we said though in the first half, and what we said the previous game. It's too slow from Arsenal. You know, you need to pick it up, move the ball with pace, miss players out. I know it's difficult on a pitch like this, but you really want to try and move it quickly and don't just be static.
Maritz. Lacasse. Gunners go from right to left, and now here's Catley looking for Ford. Appreciate the attempt from her. Can't quite pull off the little flick into the path of Marnham. Good close control by Frida Marnham. He spotted the run from Blackstenius, couldn't thread the pass through. Too many Paris shirts in the way. Bogart. Mendozi. Struggling to get out at the moment. Good challenge by Little. Extenius has got Mornham up there with her. It's Mornham! Oh, she was so effective from those sorts of positions last season. Just couldn't stay balanced there. Well off target in the end.
Yeah, you just expect a bit better from Frida Marnham. Obviously, Kim Little here. Clayla Cass does well to do with the first ball. Kim Little, great tackle there. Leah Volti gets the ball, threads the ball through. Blackstenius, take it there. You know, you're trying to urge Frida Marnham, take it early, because the longer she takes, obviously the goalkeeper's coming steaming out, which then makes her decision a lot harder. But you'd expect her at least to hit the target there.
16 goals for Mornham last season. Did, of course, score against the French side last season. Scoring in that 5-1 away to Lyon. Incredible performance that the Gunners put in during last season's Champions League run to the semi-final. She didn't miss a single Champions League game for the Gunners last season, Frida Mornham, such as her importance to the side. The Paris players are starting to get a little frustrated.
Yeah, Kim Little doing really well there, using her body, you know, to get across. Paris looking frustrated though, you know, I think you'll see a few more yellow cards in this second half, especially if those challenges keep coming in.
I'm sure you'll correct me here, Gilly, but Kim never seems to look flustered, I should say, or phased when she's on the receiving end of those sorts of challenges. But Blackstenius is through here and gets around Nadozi. A very heavy touch.
No, just on your point then, Kim, you rarely ever see Kim lose her head, and when she does, it's probably because of a naughty challenge that shouldn't have happened. But yeah, she just seems to like glide her way through players, gets chopped, gets back up again, just walks away, doesn't react at all. Not like me.
You'd be the one doing the tackling.
And getting the head lost.
Again, Paris looking to go more direct. Defoe came a long way across the Gunners' back line to claim that one. Looking for Bourdieu. In fact, it's come off the post. And they're claiming it went in, and it's been given as well. Well, the Gunners falling victim to a quick counter-attack. And Bourdieu, who set up 2 goals on Wednesday, was instrumental in this one as well. Against the run of play, Paris take the lead.
Yeah, just incredibly surprised how that's happened. And I mean, obviously the way it falls off the post as well. But Defoe runs a long way across from the back shoulder of Ilestedt across to deliver the ball in initially. I mean, the ball could fall anywhere, you know, and it's just unfortunate to Arsenal that it's fell to Bourdieu, but Zinsberger, you question whether she could have done a bit better on that as well. Turns her back on the ball a little bit, unsure where the second ball lands. But yeah, Arsenal will feel deflated after that. They know they need to up their game.
Oh dear, well, it might get even worse for them as Bourdieu's in for a possible second. And Paris don't make a mistake. Doubling their lead within just seconds of the restart. And Bourdieu, the scorer of the first. Well, presented with 2 absolute gifts. Arsenal 0, Paris 2.
I've got my hand on my face because I'm just like, wow. The last couple of minutes, sloppy from Arsenal. Volti turns the ball away. Ilestedt again, similar to what we said about Wilbur Moore in the first half, comes steaming out to close the ball down, and it opens up the space then. Wilbur Moore is too far away to make a difference. Volti's trying to get back. Budu slips it through Zinsberger's leg. It's sloppy from Arsenal. That's the second goal has come from Arsenal's turnover. It needs to be better.
She's a quality striker, Borju. Scored 13 goals in 21 league appearances last season. She's off the mark this time around. 2 goals against last season's Champions League semi-finalists. Both of them very routine finishes for a striker of her quality. It's the old saying, isn't there, Gilly? Like, when you concede a goal, OK, set up, get yourself back to basics again, and whatever you do, don't let it get any worse. And Arsenal have done just that, inviting the pressure. And now they have a real mountain to climb in this final half hour. Stenius. Looks as though 3 changes are going to be made by Jonas Eideveld immediately after that second goal was scored. Will this be the opportunity to take them?
I was going to say as well, normally the saying is that you're more vulnerable to concede a goal after you've just scored. Not after you've conceded, be that vulnerable to be open again for it, but it's not good enough from Arsenal. The transition, the turnover was too high midweek and they weren't punished by it, and today they've been punished.
Eideveld will make that change, and Liavelti, who gave the ball away to kickstart that second Paris goal, is the player who's going to be coming off first. Victoria Pelova on in her place. Alessia Russo, Katie McCabe and Lena Hurtig all going to be joining the action as well. Firstly, Hurtig on for Caitlin Ford. And the Swede was very impressive when she came off the bench in midweek. As you can tell from the warm reception. Marilla Maritz now vacating for Katie McCabe, which may signal a change in system for the Gunners. And then final change, Stina Bakstenius sees her number go up. And Alessia Russo on for her second Arsenal appearance. All they could do with a first Arsenal goal from her. Catley delivers over the head of Russo. Moy was convinced that that was going to roll out for an Arsenal corner, so much so that she let it go. Indeed, it's been ordered as a goal kick instead.
First entering number 21, also Abdulina, taking the place of number 30, Liavelti. Also entering with number 19.
Another sore one for Kim Little.
Yeah, just come straight through the back of Kim. Naughty as well, they're sort of a dangerous one as well. Borju, you know, not really looking at the ball at all. Kim just, you can just see her just taking a big deep breath and getting up, but right decision.
So McCabe looks like playing right back for the final half hour here. There she is now. One of Arsenal's Ballon d'Or nominees.
I den 60:e matchminuten så gjorde Arsenal 4 stycken byten.
On a hat-trick. After a relatively quiet first half, 60 seconds, so they'll score 2 goals. It's been given away. Pelova. Russo. Hurtig. Steps in her tracks. Sawyer. Paris will respond with a change of their own. It looks as though Kaya Koroshek is leaving the field to be replaced by Daphne Corbo. So former Man City teammate of Jem Beattie's. Gio actually won the WSL and Continental Cup together way back in 2016. He's played against Arsenal 3 times before, only lost once. The side at the moment are en route to a very famous win over the Gunners. Can Frida Mornum do to change that? Comes from Mornum. Not sure which part of the goal that ended up hitting. Dozy wasn't sure. Header angles covered in the end, the Nigeria number 1. Rousseau. Time for Mornum, who's got time to set herself. Frida Mornum! Just slightly wider than she would have liked. Good stop in the end.
I think you see as well is sort of gone to a 2 up top with Rousseau and Marnham, so a lot more closer together. Rousseau there wins the first ball and sets it through to Marnham, who again just takes it too wide.
Marnham looking for Catley. So mighty collision on the edge of the penalty area.
I think it's just a bit overhit from Marnham then on the initial ball to Catley, but not sure if the ball bobbled up onto Catley's hand at all.
Heavy again, this time by Katie McKay. Bourgiou's got the willing runner in Defour. Defour's in behind the Arsenal defence. It is Defour. Needed Manu Zinsberger to spare the blushes of the Arsenal defenders once more.
Yeah, Arsenal's turnover again. You know, they've been sloppy in the previous game as well and wasn't punished, but it just seemed a bit fragile defensively as well when they're under pressure.
.25 minutes left for the Gunners to find their way back into this game. Hit a step. Rousseau the intended target. Cave the beneficiary. Cass. Noise from the travelling fans increases in volume, urging their side forward as Cass looked for players in the middle. Palova was one of them. And Noel turning it behind and out for safety.
Yeah, good build-up play again from Lacasse. She's looked dangerous every time she's gone forward, and she's making the right decisions as well. You know, in the previous game, she sort of took it on her own and probably wanted to get a chance herself, but she's made the right decision there, just overhit it too far in front of Palova, but right idea.
Catley then, perhaps with a more orthodox delivery this time. Comes from the Australian. Adozie again has raced off her line. And after punching the first one, she gathers a second time of asking. And we'll just use up a few valuable seconds.
I also think as well, Arsenal, like we said, in the first half, they're playing to Paris's strengths. You know, and in Dozy, she'll come for everything. You know, even there, she's on the 6-yard line challenging for the ball. You need to draw her out more, you know, get it into the penalty spot area. If she goes, then great for Arsenal because she's left her goal so far. But if she doesn't, then you've got a real good chance of attacking it.
She'll be happy to play the role of pantomime villain, Shamaka Nadozie, as long as the score remains the same and her clean sheet remains intact. Arsenal by far outweighing the Paris support in the stands. The only statistic that matters, though, on the top left-hand corner of your screen: Arsenal 0, Paris 2. Borju scoring both of those goals. And McCabe, can she get the Gunners back on the front foot? And just getting it stuck under her feet on this surface. Uncharacteristically heavy touch from her. Moy looking to force the issue a bit more, so yeah, had a good view of that all the way across the pitch. Russo turning away really well. And Warner. McCabe screaming for it on this near side. Perhaps felt that she was in a better position. Arsenal had the extra player over.
Yeah, it's just about that decision making in the final third. You know, Arnhem there, unless you're going to have a bit of power behind it, you're not really going to trouble the goalkeeper from that far out. Is that the right decision? Should we just come back round the other side like Kate McCabe had a lot of space on this side and try and break Paris down? You know, they've been pretty regimented defensively behind the ball, and I don't really feel like Arsenal have moved them enough.
Mateo unable to keep her own header in.
The spectators at today's match is 1,411.
Sissoko under pressure from Russo.
Dagens publiksiffra 1411 personer. Stort tack.
Borju playing with so much confidence right now. Defoe won't give up on this one either. Still pressing the 22-year-old. Again, it's a loose pass that gives possession back to Paris.
Yeah, it's just sloppy from McCabe there. I think Arsenal have been at times very sloppy in possession. Got away with it on Wednesday, but obviously has proven in this game so far, you can't, when you come up against a better attacking line or attacking line with a bit more pace and quality about them, you can't afford to be sloppy. I think you're going to see a lot of this as well now for the next 20 minutes, the slow to get the ball, the time wasting / game management. You know, if it's happening against you, it's time wasting, but when you're doing it as a team, it's game management.
I'm going to guess which one's more enjoyable to be a part of. Catley helps it on. Cass had to cover a lot of ground there just to put any sort of pressure on the defence. McCabe, still plenty of time for Arsenal. No need for them to panic. Palova. Oh, telegraphed by McCabe, that one, but little with the guile to just ride the challenge from Mateo. More under pressure from Borju, and again Paris is pressing, wins them back the ball. Two lightning quick players competing for possession there in Defoe and Lacasse. And Defoe gets the benefit of the doubt.
I just don't think Arsenal have helped each other out today in regards to possession or passing, you know, sort of been stitching each other up. Like what we like to call them as a player would be hospital balls, you know, because you're putting someone in a situation where they could get hurt or they're giving away the ball, you know, and it's just helping each other out, being kind to each other.
Moy. Over enough space to turn and pick out fellow substitute in Hertig. Pass through the lines is from Ilestedt. And Moy can take over. Again asking help from Hertig, but has done well to win the free kick. So a chance to get those players forward from the back. And desperately though, the Gunners need a bit of quality on this set piece. Interesting to see that McCabe's left this one. So it will be Frida Mornham to deliver, right-footed. And away by Paris. Defour up against Pullover. Only one thing on her mind every time, Julie Defour. And that is, what's the quickest route to goal? Shepherded out by Sissoko. It's only her second appearance for Paris. Joined from Savina Potsdam, Leah Velti's former side. Both players did captain the German side. Snapping into the challenges now, Paris. Ilestedt. McCabe. Rousseau. Little. Hertig stayed wide at the top of your screen. Macas. Paris clear again. I know that Arsenal's passing radar hasn't quite been up to scratch, and perhaps the tempo's not been quick enough, but let's not take anything away from the way that Paris have defended in a compact and diligent way.
Yeah, they've defended really well. You know, they've been, like we said, compact. Arsenal haven't made the most of it in the sense of trying to break them down. You know how compact they've been and how narrow they've been. They've not utilised that well, Arsenal. No, they've not taken advantage of the space that's been in the wings or in the wide areas, and they haven't moved them enough, disjointed them enough. So, you know, they've still got obviously 15 minutes or so to get into the game, or get back into it and get even if it's just to get to extra time. But they're going to need to do more off the ball.
Now it's a break in play here. Manny Zinsberger receiving some treatment on what looks to be her ankle, which is a big concern for the Gunners. Meanwhile, Paris make two changes of their own. So on the left of the two is Louise Fleury, a 26-year-old midfielder who can also play up front. But this is the exciting change that I mentioned at the start of the game coming on. Luna Ribadera, player of the tournament at the under-19 Euros this summer, and the top goal scorer as well. She's a direct runner, she's a clinical finisher. She's still only 19 years old. She's replacing Mathilde Bourdieu, who has run herself into the ground and got two goals to show for it as well. Here she is, Ribadera. Stolen back by McCabe. He's put it down to the ground, and McCabe's not happy with the challenge from the substitute Fleury.
Yeah, I think obviously Kate McCabe, I mean, she jumps up and sort of pulls Fleury down and then reacts to it as well, but it's just a bit unnecessary reaction in my opinion. You know, I think it's frustrating. It's frustrating coming out of Katie McCabe. Obviously coming on, she's made a few loose passes as well, and things ain't going the way that they want for Arsenal.
Psychologically, what does that do when you're the opposition player, when you're the one causing the frustration and you can see that visibly?
Well, I was always on the receiving end 9 times out of 10 where I was getting head loss, but you do, when you know a player reacts like that, you know you're winding them up.
Here's Matteo trying her luck. Couldn't keep the effort down in the end.
Yeah, just going back to that point that you tend to, you know, you're getting under a player's skin a little bit, you tend to play more on it, you know, and especially the likes of Katie McCabe, the character she is, players will be aware and teams will be aware that if you play on her, there's a good chance she's going to get booked and it could escalate.
It's her ball there, looking for a forward run. It's been given away by Sissoko, and Arsenal managed to get one back. And it's the first Gunners goal for Alessia Russo. And what a time for her to get it as well. That's half the deficit. 10 minutes now for the Gunners to find an equaliser.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what was said when Zinsberg was down and had a little chat with the owners, but yeah, Russo doesn't give up. Sissoko doesn't deal with the ball, gets stuck underneath her. Russo, one touch, looks up, does get a bit of a helping hand from the goalkeeper. But the strike is on target, and if you hit the target, who knows where it can go. But good reaction not to give up on the initial ball as well. Sissoko getting stuck, but Russo puts it away.
First goal in European club football for Alessia Russo. Could that be what the Gunners need to kick-start a fight back here in Sweden? And there's another change for Paris, and she was slow leaving the pitch, wasn't she? Lou Bogart. She's being replaced by Chelsea Loney, Alsu Abdelina. This is her Paris debut. She was in the Chelsea squad, who won the UWCL and FA Cup last season. This is her first time actually facing Arsenal. And for some fresh legs at fullback. There she is now. Knocked on by Rivadera. Abdelina. Back by Ilestead, and Lucas will take the free kick.
See now a bit of urgency from Arsenal. You know, minimum of 10 minutes to get another goal. Just speed it up now.
One more goal without conceding. We'll take this game to extra time. Arsenal are very much in the ascendancy. Lacasse with the ball into the box. Oh, and Marder so close to finding that equaliser.
It seems like Arsenal scoring has sort of kick-started their game. And you're just hoping that it's not too late. Frida Marnham here, good header, gets up a bit too early. Tries to get the ball on target, but you're just hoping that it's not too late for Arsenal with this reaction.
Hurtig knocks it into the park. Mornham's through again. Sissoko's struggling to deal with it once more, and Paris are odds and ends at the back at the moment. A really good time for the Gunners to be applying some pressure, because that defence look rattled.
Yeah, they look all over the place. Sissoko not dealing with it again. I'm not too sure then what the defender's doing. It looked like it could have bounced in off Abdelina for an own goal. But Arsenal need to make the most. With this momentum that they've got now, they have to make the most of it because Paris are rattled.
You're talking about where to deliver this ball, Gilly. Everyone inside the 6-yard box. Where do you want to see Catley playing this? Because we know exactly what Nadosi's going to do.
Yeah, not there.
Here comes Arsenal's number 7 then, one arm up from her. And into that trusty left foot and easily punched away by Nadosi. Little back there defending, although she's lost out to Fleury. Look at Ribadera, she's quick across the ground as well. But so's Little. Even more impressive for the 33-year-old at this late stage in the game. Catley in for Rousseau. Palova. Malakas. Catley. Cave stayed wide. Good ball in from her towards Hurtig. Couldn't get the direction on her header. Seemed to come off the wrong part of her head, the Swede.
Yeah, it's a great ball in by McCabe. Hurtig gets up. You think it's going to be a banker to at least hit the target, but just doesn't connect with it well enough. Goes in the opposite direction that she would have hoped for.
Anywhere will do from Nadosi. One by Lacasse. Arsenal right there on the second ball. Mateo. Ribadera. In a step. Okay. Palova carry this forward right in front of the Paris bench, who were convinced it was their throw-in. Morning. Lacasse stays wide. Little noise, the support just behind her. It's poor from the Canadian in the end. Just under 5 minutes of the 90 remain. Paris camped out on the edge of their own penalty area. Arsenal seeing all of the ball. 5 minutes to determine the future of their European campaign this season. They won it back in 2007. Got to the semi-finals last season. As things stand, they will be crashing out in the qualifiers unless something changes. Just one moment of magic is all they need to take this game to extra time, the Gunners. 4 minutes to do that. Rivadera feeling the injury to just by her side. A few more moments and get Steph Catley booked in the process.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of argy-bargy there. I'm not too sure what Steph Catley's getting booked for, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if there was something that happened afterwards. But you do see Steph Catley slips a little bit after Rivadera falls to the ground, so I'm not too sure if the referee thought that might have been a late off-the-ball incident sort of thing. I think just watching it here now, yeah, you see, I don't think Catley means to do that whatsoever. She's going in to put her foot in and slips on the 3G, and her hand is unfortunately there, but I think it's a soft yellow, if I'm being completely honest.
It's taking the momentum away, that's for sure. Crucially providing the Paris players with an opportunity to catch their breath. There have been 11 players behind the ball for the last 5 minutes or so. I think Arsenal, quite rightly, asking why Uefa has not been sent off the pitch, having had treatment on it. Either way, the play will continue. Tinney. In a step will deal with that one, as will Catley. Sawyer into Ribadera. Do wonder just how disappointed, annoyed Jonas Eideveld, the Arsenal players in particular, will be if this scoreline does stay the same, especially given the manner of the way they conceded that second goal.
Yeah, but I just think if they're being completely honest, they've not really created too much in this game, and the goal has come from a mistake from Sissoko defensively. But yeah, they should be expecting more from this game, Arsenal.
Lacasse delivers. Sissoko's underneath that one. There's Fleury.
I think also as well of how well Arsenal done last year and how far they got in the Champions League. It will be disappointing for them.
60 seconds of the 90. There will be time added on. It's getting pretty desperate now for the Gunners. Palova. With Moy. Lacasse trying her best to get round Abdelina. Fleury. Moy runs it back fairly. Nine minutes added on at the end of this game. Interesting, Gilly.
Still lots of time then for Arsenal. Even if it's just to get another goal, to get it into extra time. But plenty of time.
Palova fires one out for McCabe, right on her foot. Plenty of players to aim for inside the area. Arsenal delaying the cross. It's Little trying something a bit different, looking for Hurtig. Now Willestedt will confidently deal with the young up-and-coming striker. Okay, losing out to Matteo, who's still at this late stage of the game. He's full of running, full of carrying her team up the field. And Ribadera has put that out of play herself. Lacasse. Palova. This is where the Arsenal players start to look for their match winners. Kim Little will be seeing a lot of the ball in the next 8 minutes, that's for sure. Someone who's been there, who's done it, who's won it all. So far, Paris standing firm since conceding that first goal, I should say. Sissoko wins the header. Matteo, told by her captain Tinney to just slow things down and take it away from her own goal. Sissoko clear under pressure from Russo. Change for the Gunners there. Jembiti coming on as a makeshift striker for these final few minutes.
Taking the place of number 28, Amanda Ilestedt.
Did used to play as a striker, Jembiti. Has obviously made her name since then as a centre-back. She is the aerial threat that Arsenal may need as they start to begin an onslaught on this Paris penalty area. Palova. Good ball in by Wubben-Moy towards Beattie. Dozy is so commanding inside her penalty area. And again, we'll use this opportunity to just slow things down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ball into the box from Wubben-Moy. You know, Beattie's got every right to go and challenge for that ball. She ain't got an idea at all where the goalkeeper is. She's watching the ball the whole time. You just feel, though, this is just the time-wasting element, the game management element. She's trying to say Beattie's doing an elbow. No chance. Beattie didn't even know where she was. So I'm not too sure who she felt the elbow off of, unless it was a fellow defender.
Gamesmanship or time wasting this one, Julie?
Well, I'm getting a little bit fuming by it, so in my eyes it's time wasting. But for them, they'll see it as game management. But I also see it, you see it in the World Cup. Sometimes the goalkeeper does something like this and then it ends up punishing them, because then the other team get back into it because they've decided to delay or time waste. I'm not saying that she didn't fill a whack into the jaw, but to say that it was an elbow, just for me, that's being naughty and is trying to get a player sent off or a player booked when she didn't do nothing like it.
Dozy will finally get us back underway as Artie closes down her clearance, but she's managed to pick out Fleury. Minutes now into stoppage time, as indicated by the referee, Kristina Georgieva. She did make a note of just how many minutes Dozy was down for. So we can expect this one to run beyond the 99 that we'll be showing in the top left-hand corner of your screen. McCabe with the throw-in for Little. He's just been left unmarked. Picks out Wubben-Moy. Playing the end of this game almost like a right-back. Cass sold short on this near side. And now Ribadera. Contest Catley, but she had gone slightly too early. McCabe towards Beattie. It's a good header on as well to pick out Rousseau. Just couldn't generate the power with the cross. Very easy for Paris to clear. McCabe firing that one in. Beattie's there! Arsenal get the equaliser. Jen Beattie. Well, she knows how to strike, just as she did against Wolfsburg. She's made the difference from the bench. Arsenal 2, Paris 2.
You know, I can't sit here and not smile when it comes to Beattie scoring. You know, I felt the same when she done it against Wolfsburg. You couldn't wish it happened to a nicer person, a nicer player, but yeah, she just wins the battle there. She pulls away from her marker, back shoulder. Great header. Defender's got her head in her hands because she knows she's let Beattie slip, and the other side of her must be rubbing his hands together that he's made that substitution and put her up top. But Arsenal get the equaliser.
Well, they will reset now. Jen Beattie told to go back in defence, it looks like. Incredible. Annabelle will take the yellow card, I'm sure. If it means that his side can either get into extra time or, with whatever time is left, find themselves a winning goal.
The question is, did he get the yellow card for doing a knee slide like he did at the Emirates?
Not sure the turf here is as cut out for that.
Have a look at if he's got red kneecaps when the camera goes back on him.
Goal for Arsenal.
Paris now with a change in approach. BT doing her job at both ends of the pitch. That one's going to stay in. Yeah, only momentarily. Moy. To say what a cross it was as well from Katie McCabe to pick out BT so well.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're struggling to break down a team and you have got someone like Jen Beattie in the box of her stature, just put the ball into the box, and there's nothing wrong with that.
As a defender, it must be a nightmare seeing an opposing team just go all-out attack and the balls start coming in. And sure, like, you were good in the air, but it adds that element of risk, doesn't it, to the way you're defending. It could take a deflection or anything like that on its way through. Anything to just unsettle that back line a bit more. Yeah,
I think there's always so much hype when their centre-back goes up centre-forward as well, because you just think, don't let that person score, and you see it happen so many times. So I think Arsenal will be hoping to get something in this corner now.
Frida Mornham with the open arm gestures, indicating we could be seeing a bit of a routine here. BT in the box once more. Mornham delivers. Dozy with the fist away. BT stayed forward. Who can blame her? Moy. And towards BT, who's going to win a header again. Just couldn't take enough of the pace off the ball. Final few instalments of this action-packed second half. All 4 goals coming after the break. Paris scoring twice in very quick succession through Bourdieu, before Alessia Russo kick-started the comeback with her very first Arsenal goal. And then Jen Beattie with the heroics from the bench. Looks as though we are going to go to extra time. And if there is no winner at the end of that, it will be penalties for a place in the Champions League playoff round. Well, Jen Beattie, the hero for now, taking this game to an additional half an hour of play. Alessia Russo as well on target. The 90 minutes here finished 2-2, but there is still plenty of football to be played and plenty at stake. Be sure to not go anywhere, and we'll be seeing you very, very shortly for the first half of extra time. Yep, we knew it was going to be a bit tighter than the opening game against Linköping, but I'm not sure, Gilly, that we would have predicted extra time, especially after Paris took the 2-goal lead in the way that they did, but credit to Arsenal for getting back into this situation.
Yeah, well, like I said as well on air, that Arsenal didn't really seem like they had that in them until Russo scored that goal, you know, and it's been a frustrating game for Arsenal. I don't really think like they've created that much. But yeah, when it was 2-0 down, in all honesty, I thought that was it. The game was done and dusted. But credit to Arsenal, yeah, for the fight back. And I think when they did get the goal for Russo, they sort of had that energy, that spark to go and get the equaliser. For me, I don't see anyone, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't see anyone but Arsenal winning this game now.
I'm just wondering what sort of psychological effect it has on you as the team that are winning by 2-1 to then concede that late, or well, it's certainly that close to a historic victory, to then take it to extra time. It almost feels as though the momentum will solely be with Arsenal for this.
Yeah, it's disheartening, the way it was done, the manner it was done as well, the time. But also the substitutions, you know, Paris is sort of time wasting.
Well, Lacasse can try to find Hurtig here, who's nipped in ahead now. Was she brought down? The referee says no. Actually has given a free kick the opposite direction.
Wow. From watching that replay then, it looks like Hurtig literally just gets kicked. So I'm not too sure how the referee is pointing that in the opposite direction.
Well, my initial thought was she claiming it was simulation? There's no yellow card. So is it perhaps a follow-through on her way?
I don't know. I don't know how you could potentially see that as a dive when she literally kicks right through Hurtig. You know, it's pretty obvious that that is a foul. From the distance as well, the referee was. It weren't like she was miles away from it. She seemed pretty close.
Well, an interesting start then to this first period of extra time. Most importantly, for everyone tuning in on Arsenal.com and the Arsenal app, the Gunners are continuing exactly where they left off at the end of that game. Palova. Catley. Moy into the channel for Russo. And again, free kick seems to have gone against Arsenal, although the referee has changed which arm she's using to point. It is an Arsenal free kick. Only once a substitution has been made though, so it's Sissoko leaving the field. Sissoko who gifted the Gunners the first goal. Alessia Russo, her maiden Arsenal strike.
Substitute for Paris. Entering number 2, Selina Ulocene coming onto the pitch. Usually a right back, still just 21 years old. So she may be seeing out the game as a makeshift centre-back. In from Mornham, it's deep, it's a good ball as well, and somehow didn't find its way into the back of the net. Russo and Uefa look to have got in each other's way there.
Yeah, it's a good delivery from Marnham. Russo and Uefa just seems to, like you said, get in each other's way. I think Russo's run across, stops Uefa from really attacking the ball because she's got to get past her. But that's probably one of the best deliveries as well that Marnham's put into the box from a free kick.
Here is the defender who has just come on. Ulocene immediately put under pressure and immediately conceding a corner. So Frida Mornham, fresh off the back of that delivery. There's another chance here. She's got the
line on it now. She knows how deep she can put these crosses. It's a better starting position by Arsenal at first. Again, oh, cleared off the line this time. Well, Ndozi was not sure about that one at all and required her captain to clear her lines.
Ndozi as well coming, she'll come for everything. You know, it's not a clean punch with the ones where she don't know where it's going, and it's lucky Tini, it could be one of the ones where it goes anywhere. She's probably just thankful that it's gone up and gone over.
Well, McCabe seen how to do it from the other side. And we see a similar type of delivery from the right. Beattie is one to aim for in the area, as is Russo, who had drifted towards the far post, but that's a lot easier for Ndozi to claim. Ulaseng again being put under pressure by Russo, and again conceding possession. Good play by the Arsenal striker, and a nice turn by McCabe as well. Now Pelova. Russo. McCabe has got Hurtig to aim for. Cass as well, who's surprisingly good in the air for someone who's not the tallest.
Yeah, Kate McCabe again then with delivery. Sort of was a bit more of a difficult angle, putting the ball into the box. Sort of was coming away from the goal. Cass really had not much to do with it. All she could do really was challenge for the ball.
Little. Now Catley has been playing as the left-sided centre-back for much of the last 15 minutes. And Wubben-Moy can move out into the full-back area and block the cross from Fleury. Cass, who managed to get the final touch on that one. Good tracking back from the Canadian. Tini not in any particular rush to take this corner. They have made 5 changes, Paris. Significantly weakened sides to the one that started the game, and they've lost a lot of height as well. There are still targets to aim for, but Jen Beattie dreams of clearing balls like that. Fleury. Head down, running straight past Walter Wubben-Moy towards Ribadera. Now Mateo's in there too. Fleury with the cross. Sliced out and behind for Arsenal goal kick.
It does seem as well that both teams, we expected it from Arsenal really to continue to keep going. But sometimes you wonder if a team's going to just sort of hope for penalties. But you see it with Paris, they're still trying to go and get the winner. They're still trying to score.
Confirmation there of Lena Hurtig just picking up a yellow card in the build-up to that last Paris opportunity. Chloe trying her luck from range. Bereft of options ahead of her, the French winger. Russo losing out, so Pelova can take over. just about manages to find Mornan. Now with Moy. And two between Aaron Little. Frees up the Cass on that far side again. She wanted an overlapping run from Wubben Moy. McCabe. Now pull over. Lacasse, he's had to get deep a bit further to get the ball. McCabe. Little. Hurtig. Just needed a shout perhaps from Lacasse that she was behind her. So again, Arsenal's creator-in-chief, trying to orchestrate things in the centre of the pitch. Catley, a bit more direct, looking for Hurtig, who had time to kill that ball. And Palova can wriggle away. And so close to giving Arsenal the lead for the very first time this afternoon.
Yeah, really good feet then from Palova. Twinkle toes running through the Paris defence. But what Arsenal done really well there is they was building it up. They was keeping the ball, they was moving it from left to right, back across the other side of the pitch. It's hard now because players are naturally going to be tired. It's so late on in the game.
Paris have lost a lot of quality as this game's gone on. As mentioned, a number of substitutions. I've seen the likes of Mathilde Boisieu leave the field, as well as Defour, who was a real threat in the first half as an outball for the French side. Means that the Gunners are dominating possession, and all that Paris can do at the moment is just try and stand firm. For Fleury to chase. Moy will get there ahead of her. Oh, it's been given away though by Catley. One of the players who has got a lot of quality is Clara Matteo, who will force a corner kick.
It's another one of those moments though where we're saying obviously Zingsberger passes the ball out to Catley, tries to do too much, gets caught under her foot. Just put your foot through it. You know, you don't need to muck about with it this stage of the game as well.
Again, Paris taking their time on these dead ball situations. That will be Taya Hrebeval to take this one. It's another player who has been at the heart of the resurgence of this Paris FC squad. Almost 200 appearances since 2014. Going short from the corner, Arsenal have failed to pick up Fleury. Oh, and they did have one player who had strayed into an open position. I think it was the other centre-back, Selina Ulosine. Very nearly crept in behind the Gunners' back line. Beattie. Just over 60 seconds of this first period of extra time to go. Victoria Palova coming the closest. Here's Russo though, looking to change things. Hurtig to Russo again. Just a bit scrappy up there at the moment. Kobos. Little spots McCabe, making her way forward on this near side. Now Morland, she's got Russo outside of her. Nice touch from Russo. Took it too far wide.
I think that's just the decision making though for the whole game really from Arsenal. It's going to be really difficult there for Russo on a weaker foot to really challenge the goalkeeper. Is that the right decision to have the shot? Probably not.
Sawyer. Russo helping defensively. Little. Well, nothing to report on from the first 15 minutes of extra time. Gunners frustrated again by a Paris side who have been very diligent in their defending. It did look as though Victoria Pelova had managed to wriggle through the back line. She saw her strike hit the side netting. Still 2-2 after 15 minutes of extra time. 15 minutes still to play, Gilly, before we get to penalties. I mean, how nervous are you, and how calm do the Arsenal players need to stay in this second 15 minutes of extra time? Because they don't need to rush things, do they? There's still plenty of football here to just go about their game, their processes, and just make sure that, again, they're not panicking or rushing.
Well, answering your first question of how nervous am I hate penalties. So I'd rather the game be won and done within the next 15 minutes, so I don't have to watch penalties. But I think if you're looking at Arsenal, I mean, they look like the side that's more likely to go and score. And I think for them, they're going to probably want it to get it done. Penalties, I think, it's a luck, really. I mean, of course, goalkeepers will study players and where they go. But I think, like you did see in the World Cup, there are some very good penalty takers who missed penalties, whether it be the pressure. You know, you're talking about this pitch as well. It's completely different to playing on a grass pitch. But yeah, I think for Arsenal, they're looking like they've got the quality that can go on to win it. And I think for them, they'll want to go and push on and win it. It'd be interesting to see, do you stick Beattie back up front again after what she's done, even if it's for the last 5 minutes or so? But yeah, they just need to stay calm, be patient with the ball and build up again.
It's interesting, as soon as you name-checked Jem Beattie there, it looked as though that's the player that Jonas Eideveld was talking to. So I'm wondering whether she's asked the question, well, look, boss, where do you want me? Where do you see my progression in this game? Do you want me as a defender to start off with, and then maybe after 5, do the final 10 minutes up top?
Yeah, maybe he's gone, listen, Jen, the girls have got 5 minutes to go and win it. If not, you're getting back up top again. And I mean, it worked for Arsenal, because you're looking at how Arsenal played the whole game. They found it really hard to break down Paris. You know, obviously now that the players are tired, and naturally when players do get tired, the spaces open up. And I do think, like I've said, Arsenal look like they have the extra bit of, whether it be fitness, whether it be quality as well. They don't look as tired and as fatigued as what Paris do. But yeah, if it's not working and they're still struggling, you know it's worked. Beattie going up top because you got a goal from it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the last 15 minutes.
The best chance that the Gunners have had since then was that pullover opportunity. That came after a sustained spell of possession where they were just patient in their build-up play. We're going to need to see more patience creep in. No frustration from Arsenal or desperation. Not just yet. There's plenty of football still to be played in this Champions League qualifying tie. A position in the playoff round is up for grabs Whoever wins, whether it is in the next 15 minutes or after penalties, will be playing in European football in October. Well, Russo gets us back underway for the second 15 minutes of extra time. Fleury.
Taking the place of number 15,
Rivadera. Paris have made another change. Melwin Ngondala has come on, 19-year-old defender. He can also play in midfield. She has replaced Margot Lumuel, who stayed with us during that break just then. The player who was down receiving a bit of treatment, having played the first 105 minutes here at a pretty high pace. Good ball into the box. It's not been cleared by Arsenal, and Paris put their noses in front once more. And it's the Chelsea. I was going to say it's the Chelsea loanee. It's not. It's the veteran defender who's managed to score. Julie Soyer, the 38-year-old, who was convinced by a manager over the summer to sign a new deal, to prolong her stay. She may have just booked her side's place in the next round of the Champions League qualifiers.
Yeah, it's just sloppy from Arsenal. You know, it's the initial cross comes in. Players allow the ball to bounce across the box like that, which you can't do. I mean, she's still got a lot to do, Sawyer. She's still got a lot to do to put the ball into the back of the net, which she does. But that's poor defending from Arsenal.
Well, we're back almost where we started. Arsenal now in desperate need of a goal. 2 would be lovely. But for now, let's just get this back to level pegging, because they'd fought so hard to get themselves back into this fixture. And now they're at risk of letting all of that hard work and determination go to waste.
Yeah, I think with the Arsenal defenders, the amount of defenders that are in the box as well, and not one defender dealing with that ball. It wasn't a fantastic ball across the box. It was just whipped in there. Took several bounces before it fell to Sawyer. They needed to deal with that a lot better.
The Cats. Rousseau. Nice first touch from her. Showed a bit too much of the ball to Tinney, though. Here's Rousseau again. Moy lining up another cross. Cleared as far away from goal as possible by Selina Ulassane. Oh dear. It looked like a nasty head collision, and you can see from the reaction of the medical staff both coming on. I think it was Steph Catley colliding there with Melwin Ndongala. It's a nasty one, both players looking at the ball.
I think you could see the speed as well. Oh, yeah, that's not pretty at all. I think the bounce kills both players, to be honest. But the speed of the Paris player too. There was, I think watching that, there was only going to be one outcome of that anyway.
Looks like Steph Catley may have come off worse there. Melwin top of the head. Catley might have even been her nose that was, well, that took all of the impact there. Clear concern from her teammates. There is a hush that has descended on the stadium here. It's the Arsenal fans in attendance. Just wait to see how their number 7 is. Really, really nasty collision. Ndongala is back on her feet and able to walk off, thankfully. Now we just wait to find out how Catley is. Have managed to move Steph ever so slightly, so it's a positive sign that she is moving and she's talking, communicating, which is reassuring from where we are. Jonas Eideveld, meanwhile, is just making sure his players remain focused, and that again is another positive development. With Catley sitting up now, clearly in some discomfort. And eventually back to her feet. Well, no surprises there to see her number be held up. Katrine Kuhl is the player coming onto the pitch. Steph Catley straight down the tunnel to receive a bit more treatment, and there's a couple of concerned Arsenal teammates who have gone down the tunnel with her as well. After the lengthy stoppage then, Arsenal need to refocus. They're a goal down once more. And they have a free kick just inside their own half, which McCabe will thump towards the Paris goal. Beattie flicks on, Hurtig.
Difficult really for Hurtig to do anything there. No, it's a tight angle. She does well just to even keep the ball in play.
Dozy making full use of her 6 seconds. Moy will head that one away. So a bit of a makeshift back line for Arsenal at the moment. McCabe, Moy and Beattie. Looks as though Lacasse is going to be playing a bit more of a defensive role on the right-hand side. Paris win themselves a corner. Mateo over to take this one. Ribadeiro as well. Just imagine they're going to be using up as many seconds as possible. I mean, look at the penalty area, Gilly.
The game management.
Arsenal have managed to get themselves back in possession. There's one for Russo to try to chase from Kim Little. Now Mateo into Ndongala. Isn't going to be able to keep in the return pass. Just under 7 minutes. We're expecting a few more to be added on following the treatment for Steph Catley on the pitch. The Gunners have already had to do it once, deep into stoppage time of the 90. Find themselves an equaliser. From our side, we don't want it to go that late. We'd love to see them get a goal earlier, but at the moment they're on the back foot against the Paris side, who once more are sensing the famous wind that they very nearly slip or let slip from their grasp. Russo lets that one run. Paris have safety in numbers back there. Look at the nice play as well by Gaetan Tini. Rivadeira battling away with Moy, who emerges with the ball, and she's still going, although the whistle has been blown, no advantage played.
She was probably hoping that the referee didn't blow on the first attempt, because she actually did clear the marker and was away. But then when the referee blew back, it obviously stopped her in her tracks.
Beattie, the player who got Arsenal back into this position in extra time. I wonder when she'll be sent forward from the back. McCabe delivers in towards Hurtig. Tried to cushion any sort of pass that she could with any part of her body towards Russo on the edge of the area. Given away by Ndongala. Now here's Russo! Oh, what a finish! And what a way to endear yourself to those travelling Arsenal fans. Alessia Russo with a rocket.
And when you thought as well that Arsenal potentially looked dead and buried with everything that's gone against them, Russo very famously what she does. Again, it's a sloppy turnover from Paris. Russo picks the ball up. It's a great strike. A great strike in the end, and pulls Arsenal back again.
Absolutely nothing that Ndozi could do to keep that one out. As soon as it left her foot, it was a thunderbolt. Exactly what Arsenal needed at this late stage, and there's still time. There is still time to go on and get a winner. Russo with her second goal of the game. The first one kick-starting the fight back. The second one, the crucial leveller. I guess that's what you pay for.
Yeah, I mean, she's been bought in from United, earning good money to put the ball into the back of the net. And, you know, she's delivered obviously twice today with that. And she probably would have felt a bit frustrated, especially in the game midweek as well, because she didn't really have many chances. Obviously come off early as well, but I think for her she'll feel delighted that not only she got one, but she's got two in this game, and she'll hope we're going to win it.
Well, Arsenal have given it away again. Ndongala trying to make the most of things, unable to in the end. Just over 2 minutes to go here. Arsenal with their tails up again. Zinsberger is still struggling. We saw her receiving treatment earlier on in the game. It was the ankle that was causing her a few issues, judging by her body language the first time round. Wondering if it's still the case now. That is what they've reached for straight away, the physios.
I also think, though, I see it quite a lot last season in regards to goalkeepers obviously going down because they can't be substituted off the pitch. It's a chance for the team to get in. So you're looking at, there's a last couple of minutes left in this extra time. She goes down, she knows she can't get substituted, but it's a chance now for the Arsenal players to get into Jonas and say, what do you want from us in these last minutes? Are we going for it? Are we going to go for it? Or do you want us to sit and go for penalties? Because they know that they can't be taken off once they've gone down. So that's another tactical sort of the game management / time wasting we was talking about earlier on.
Seen it in the men's game, haven't we? Southampton, I think it was last season. They had specific points in the game where a player would have to go down so that everyone else could take on their supplements, whatever they needed, whether it was the energy gels, the water. I mean, probably a poor example as they got relegated anyway, but here comes Katie McCabe with a throw-in. surely plenty of added time at the end of this extra time to follow before we do go to those spot kicks. 5 minutes it is, held up on the board. Is there time for one more Arsenal player to be a hero this afternoon? At the moment, it's Matteo who's leading the challenges, trying to make things tick for her team. Okay, losing out to Ndongala. Uefa will pump that one forward for Lena Hurtig, who's leading the line for the Gunners in these closing stages. A foul from her on UWCL. Good play by Tinney, showing her class even at this late stage of the game. Palova. She's again the Netherlands international. Unable to get the better of Abdelina. One back though by Uefa. He leaves it for Little. Cool. Over and acres of space on this near side, twisting and firing across. Little. Now Cool. Uefa always the extra player. Over doing just enough to find Lacasse. Cross is hammered away by Rebevo. And Ndongala losing out to Little. Lacasse. Still buzzing around, Chloe Lacasse. 3 minutes remain. Will be a penalty shootout if things stay the same. Cool. Now Lacasse goes deep. Russo keeps it in, and a huge opportunity for Freedom Arnhem, and she knows it.
Yeah, huge opportunity. Lacasse, a great ball in. Russo does so well to head it back. Marnhem has to be hitting the target there. From that far out, you've got no one really around you challenging in for the ball. You should be hitting the target.
So 2 headers at that end of the pitch, probably from a similar distance, both of them ending up on the roof of the net. Nice play on the left-hand side of the pitch by Cool, but she went one too many. And now Arsenal are running back towards their own goal. It's 4-on-4. Lacasse giving Arsenal the numerical advantage, albeit momentarily. The Gunners had enough back there. Katrine Cool just getting a bit of a talking to from Palova. Lacasse. 60 seconds to find a winner. Little. Cool is Akers on the left-hand side, but they play it through the middle. She wasn't on the same wavelength, and that one's just going to creep out, and that's incredibly demoralising for Arsenal.
Yeah, disappointing there. Good play from Arsenal. Lacasse brings it up, switches it across the pitch. Palova just overhits the ball to Cool and runs out of play.
Beattie. Cool will take the throw in. Is their time. Jim Beattie staying back. Keep trying her luck with the long throw. A bit untidy at the moment. Little. Norman trying to find Russo around the corner. You get the sense that that may just be it. Indeed it is. So, the spot in the second round of Champions League qualifiers will be decided on penalties after a really dramatic 3-3 draw following extra time. We're going to be right back with that. We'll just get our breaths back first, and then we'll see you for what is sure to be a very tense shootout. Finishes here after extra time, before penalties. Arsenal 3, Paris 3. So the sight then, Gilly, that you didn't want to see. The two teams in their huddles preparing for a penalty shootout. We saw Jonas Ardevell and his assistants making their way around the Arsenal squad, just asking the players whether they fancy taking a penalty. Gilly, I think I would know the answer, but if you were in that squad, what would you be saying?
Well, you'd be surprised. I actually didn't mind penalties early on in my career. And I'll be honest, I used to be number 4 or 5 because I wanted the glory, you know, of scoring the winning one. I feel like it's as I've got older, and even more so now since retiring, when watching a game, I just get so nervous. I just don't like them at all. So, yeah, I think it's difficult because there'll be players who before the game will go, I'll have a penalty, I fancy it all day long. And then you come to this point now and you ask the same players, do you want a penalty? And some might be fatigue, it could be confidence, it could be pressure. Some players just don't fancy it on the day. So credit to anybody who steps up and takes a penalty, in my opinion.
Tell us about that walk then. What's going through your head as you make the journey from the halfway line to the edge of the area? Can you feel your legs getting a bit heavier?
Well, yeah, at this stage of the game, I'd probably be crawling to the spot after extra time. But yeah, you do. You send. There's so many different mind games with it. Some managers say, don't walk or don't run. You know, sometimes they say walk up to the ball. They'll tell the goalkeeper, you make sure that you give the ball to your player. So instead, it's setting it down. It's sort of, do you make eye contact with the goalkeeper? I just tended to all the time just look at the ball, and I always knew where I was going before I took the penalty. So yeah, I don't know, I could say I walked up to them. There could be video footage of me running. I think I just tried to play it cool and sort of look like I owned it a little bit and that I was in control. But yeah, sort of playing the mind games as well with the opposition of, I was confident that I was going to put the ball in the back of the net.
Those sort of psychological things you mentioned there, like the goalkeeper giving them the ball, when's that communicated? Because it seems strange to me that wouldn't just fit into a normal tactical session, would it?
No, so it was always, if you knew that penalties were going to happen, obviously for us it was in the FA Cup when I was at West Ham and we was playing Reading in the semi-final. We knew that there was a chance that it could go to penalties, so he practiced penalties that week. Matt Beard said, listen, we want our goalkeeper to be the one to give the ball to the player. Don't let it be the opposition goalkeeper, because they try and get into the player's head and wind you up, etc. But that was always discussed when penalties were an option at the end of the game. So it wouldn't be your standard training week in a WSL week. It would be more so if there's a game coming up with penalties involved.
So I imagine as well, you'd have played with so many great players throughout the course of your career, Gilly, but there would have been some who were incredibly technically gifted, but when the penalties came round, they didn't fancy it.
Yeah, I'll talk about when we was at Chelsea, Ji So-yeon, you know, one of the best technically gifted players that I would ever have the honour and pleasure to play with, did not like penalties at all. Would stand there and go, I'm not taking one, would get nervous laughing about it. And then when she did take one, I think against London Bees in the Conti Cup, the first round, we got knocked out because she missed a penalty. So a player like that who is so gifted and talented did not fancy penalties at all and was adamant that she wasn't taking one.
Wondering what's going on here then. So the Arsenal players didn't fancy standing on the halfway line. They wanted to go a bit closer Manu Zinsberger has the opportunity to be a hero for them from the spot here. Always favours the goalkeepers, doesn't it? It looks as though Paris are going to be going first. So, up for them, Taya Rebaval, 26 years old. She is one of the faces of this Paris side. It's no real surprise to see her take the lead. At 26, one of the more experienced figures in their ranks as well. They do have a very, very young squad. You can just see all of the fans clamouring for their seats behind the goal. You can be sure that there may be one or two trying to put the players off. Just a reminder for Zinsberger, the referees are watching her every move and to stay on her line before the ball is kicked. So, Rebaval up against Manu Zinsberger to kick off this penalty shootout for a place in the next round of the Champions League qualifiers. And Rebaval puts it right into the corner. Zinsberger goes the right way. Nothing that she could do about that one.
Yeah, very good penalty. Calm, composed. Across your body as well in the opposite corner, but got too far into the corner for Zinsberger to do anything about it.
Kim Little then, the captain, leading by example, going up first. As Gilly mentioned, quite often you see the captain go last. They want the glory. Kim will want to set the tone for things and hopefully get the better of Ndozi, who really loves these high-pressure situations, the 22-year-old. So, can Little level the penalty shootout? Of course she can. Never in doubt, Kim Little into the top corner as well. Fantastic penalty.
Yeah, brilliant penalty from Kim. You wouldn't expect anything less. And I also say as well, I know I said about I wanted the glory in being the later penalties, but the best penalty takers normally do go first as well. So that's why I was number 4 or 5. But yeah, Kim, she's a banger. She's the penalty taker anyway. You expect nothing less from her.
So a defender, another defender, the two centre-backs who finished the game for Paris, both taking the first penalties. Now, Selina Oulassane is 21 years old. She didn't look too assured of her touches when she came off the bench. What can she do from 12 yards? Oulassane. Well, that's exactly what she can do. In the same place as Kim Little's. Might have even been a bit nearer to the corner.
Yeah, it just looked like a carbon copy of Kim's, you know, top bins, as they say. Great penalty.
3 flawless penalties so far. Katie McCabe, captain of the Republic of Ireland, recently shortlisted for the Ballon d'Or. Again, with the task to draw Arsenal level in the shootout. Ndozi, a very charismatic presence between the sticks, doing everything she can to psych out Arsenal's number 15. McCabe steps up, and how cool was that? Ndozi didn't move, and Arsenal draw things up at 2-2.
Yeah, really good from McCabe as well. Great finish, top corner again. I'll be honest, left footers make me a little bit nervous when they take penalties. But yeah, she does really well then. Calmly and confidently puts the ball in the back of the net.
Clara Matteo is one of the players who does have knockout football experience. She was part of the France under-19 European winning side back in 2016. Can she get the better of Manu Zinsberger? Matteo. It's another brilliant penalty. Again, Zinsberger goes the right way. For the 3rd time in a row, actually. And again, there's nothing that she can do about the quality of the strike.
These penalties have probably been some of the best penalties that I've watched. Again, hits off the post and goes in, but it's right at in the top corner. Zinsberger can get nowhere near it.
Frida Mornham, who had two very clear chances to score. First in the opening 90 minutes, the second right towards the end of extra time. Is being very precise about how she places this ball. Paris leading by 3-2 on this shootout. 3 perfect penalties from Paris. Arsenal with 2 already. And now Mornham sees her saved by Ndozi. Paris draw first blood.
It's one of those ones, I think, just Mornham didn't seem that confident coming up to take the penalty. You know, she was standing there for a while, spinning the ball. I mean, it's a good height for Ndozi as well. It's a strong save, but for me, Mornham just didn't look confident.
Daphne Corbos then. French international who was born in America, played for the US youth teams before switching over to France. Again, making sure the ball is exactly where she wants it to be. Zinsberger slowing things down even more. So a chance to go 2 goals clear in the shootout. Corbos, saved by Zinsberger. It may have even come off the post in the end, but look at the reaction from the Austrian. Arsenal are back in this.
Yeah, they needed a big save from Zinsberger to keep them in the tie. It's a strong save as well.
It's nowhere near the post in hindsight. It's a fantastic save by Zinsberger. Got across goals so quickly. So pressure on Russo then to tie things up. 2 goals in the game. Can she net from the spot as well? Russo for 3-all. Saved by Ndozi again. And you can see exactly why she's so confident, the Nigerian. She thrives in these high-pressure situations.
Yeah, Russo again, it's a similar height to the one that Zinsberger just saved as well. Ndozi doing a little dance as well.
Rivadera then with the chance to put this out of Arsenal's reach. The 5th penalty for Paris. Scored a penalty at the Euros in the semi-final defeat to Germany. This one will send her side through to the next round. Zinsberger must save. And Paris win. Rivadera coolly slotting that one home, sending Zinsberger the wrong way, and more importantly for her, sending Paris into round 2 of these Champions League qualifiers. A bitterly disappointing end for Arsenal, Gilly.
I felt like that was like one of the slowest penalties I just watched as well, roll over across the line. But yeah, it's so disappointing for Arsenal. You know, they got back into the game twice. I was confident that once they got back into it again, that they would go on to win it. But they just fell short. You know, great saves as well from Ndozi. She does really well in the penalty shootout, but yeah, so disappointing for Arsenal.
They did so well to get themselves back into the game, Arsenal. Twice they managed to equalise. And you can see from the reaction of the Paris players, bottom of the screen, just look at what it means to Gaëtan Tini. A word on her, by the way, 37 years old. She was one of the 2 players, Soyer the other one, who were convinced to prolong their journeys with Paris at the start of the season. There is a widespread belief that this is going to be Tini's last season, and the Champions League is such an important competition to her. She was a huge part of the squad that were knocked out in the 2013 semi-final by Lyon. And now she has an opportunity to take another step closer on the last dance, if you will, of her career. And Sawyer also in tears, the 38-year-old. Both of them were integral for their side this afternoon. It won't be any sort of consolation for Arsenal or the Arsenal players watching, just to see how much it means to the Paris staff and their players as well. But Arsenal, they didn't take their chances. They didn't create enough in that first half, certainly.
No, they didn't, and I think their best chances, you look at the goals that they scored, obviously Beattie comes up top. Russo, because Sissoko lost the ball, she capitalised on that. But Arsenal, in regards to creating, they didn't create too much, you know, and I think with Paris, they looked more of the threat as well going forward on their counter-attack especially. But, yeah, Arsenal will be so disappointed.
Well, thoroughly disappointing end then to Arsenal's stay in Sweden. 3-0 win over Linköping, followed by the most dramatic of European clashes against Paris, who, by the way, were on the receiving end of a penalty shootout defeat at this stage last season to Roma. Well, this time the luck has fallen in their favour as we take a look at some of the best moments. Firstly, Frida Marnum forcing Nadozi into action. The goalkeeper didn't look overly convincing when she was coming for crosses throughout the game. She certainly showed up in the penalty shootouts. A goalless first half. And as you can see, plenty of action at either end, especially with Dufour, who looked dangerous throughout. But then the physicality came into the match as well. Paris doing a really thorough job on some of Arsenal's players. It just meant that Arsenal weren't able to get into their free-flowing best at all. It was stop-start at times. It was tough to break the Parisians down. And then when they did get into the positions, they just weren't able to make their shots count. But this was the key moment just after the restart. Zinsberger unable to do anything about this cross, and then Mathilde Bourdieu tapping in, and then it went from bad to worse as Bourdieu was gifted this opportunity by Liavelti to get in behind Arsenal's defence and then bury that one below Manu Zinsberger. But as we said, Gilly, Arsenal came back fighting, didn't they?
Yeah, they got back into the game. Obviously, I said that I think Arsenal's best reaction was after Russo scored, and obviously that comes from Sissoko dwelling on the ball at the back and them taking advantage of that, and that's when they looked. Obviously, we're seeing it here now. Doesn't deal with the ball at all. Russo capitalised on it, and this is when I felt like Arsenal had their best spell, and they looked like they could go on to win it, but it just wasn't meant to be.
This coincided with when they put Jem Beattie up front as well. They did have this opportunity here for Frida Marnum, who climbed high, couldn't direct the header downwards. And it did look as though the game was going to be slipping away, especially when the time wasting began. But how about this for a pinpoint cross from Katie McCabe and a really, really solid header from Jem Beattie. That was the goal that took the game to extra time, deep into stoppage time, 6 minutes into the 9 that were added on at the end of the 90. And then once we got the game restarted, Arsenal were dominating in terms of chances. Victoria Pelova there crashing one against the frame of the goal, but then Julie Sawyer with a vital contribution at the other end of the pitch. The 38-year-old running the length of the pitch to celebrate with her teammates, getting them back in front. But then Russo, there was absolutely nothing that Chiamaka Nadozi could do about that one in goal. And that was the moment right there. Look, Frida Marnum with an opportunity right at the end of the 120 minutes to end the game before taking it to penalties. There were 5 perfect penalties in a row from both sides, right up until Marnum's was saved. Manu Zinsberger then responded with a save of her own to get her side back into the game. But then we were denied once more, and Adozi dancing in celebration. And it was Ribadera with the crucial goal at the end of it to book Paris's place in the next round. A very quick reflection from you, Gilly, on an end-to-end game of football.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Arsenal will be disappointed. Of course they will, because they've invested so much just in the off-season as well to progress further in the Champions League with a bigger squad. But yeah, they created today in parts, but they didn't make the most of it, and obviously Paris come away the winners.
Penalty heartbreak then for the Gunners, who now go to Adidas headquarters in Germany to work on their pre-season preparation. Their next game will be the opening game of the WSL season, live from Emirates Stadium. Tickets still on sale for that. We will be bringing it to you live on Arsenal.com as well. Until then, we'll see you next time.